So I would request you to please introduce yourself and then we'll get into the questionnaires later.
Okay, so just for a quick introduction, so my name is Adarsh Srivastav. I'm living in Pune from last 13 years now, 13, 14 years. But
Okay.
I'm from a town called, not town, city called Prayagraj. I started, I was a nerd from the very start, science fiction reader, avid science fiction reader. I read all of Heinlein and Asimov and everything.
Okay.
And I started coding when I was in standard third or fourth.
Okay.
I started with the very old languages like Fortran, COBOL, and then I
Oh.
moved on. Yeah, and then I moved on to Basic, and then
Hmm.
GW Basic, and then C, C++. So my experience with the coding world was started very early. I felt that connection. Because I was, I always wanted to find a new word in that coding, so I developed lots of games there, and then lots of things I did over the
Hmm.
past during my school days.
Hmm.
And then I started my engineering. I completed my engineering in 2009. And then
Okay.
after that, because of my hobbies and because I like to code and I understood this word,
Hmm.
the new word which we are ushering into, I worked as an ethical hacker for some years
Okay.
and then moved on. And that is where, I fell in love with the databases, where,
Uh-huh.
for me, the data and the journey starts with data.
Hmm.
So one thing which I keep saying to lots of people in lots of conferences is like, for me, data is not data. It's kind of a symphony. It
Right.
tells me a story.
Correct.
It tells me every data set tells me a story. I worked on lots of diverse domain. I worked on supply chain management. I worked for a bank, for a telecom industry. From past 6 7 years now, I'm working in a healthcare industry.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
but if I look at the data, all data kind of tells you the same story, and that is
Hmm.
how my journey started. And uh, I decided to build my career into the same area where I am passionate about. And my journey started as it was a humble starting with working with data warehouses, data marts, and then data lake and so on and so forth, big data.
Hmm.
That is how my journey came in. And then from past 5 6 years, I'm working in this organization Roche, where I'm now head of IVD data insights.
Okay.
My responsibility and my team's responsibility is to look at the data which is coming from a diagnostic instruments,
Oh.
and
Okay.
then what are the insights we can build on top of it, what are the things we can do with the data which we are getting from all across the globe.
Okay.
Sorry. That is one aspect. From last 3.5 years, I'm also working in the area of AI ethics,
Okay.
where I'm trying to build a solution. And AI ethics is something which these days everybody wants to talk about. You go on LinkedIn, you see that everybody is talking about it. But
Hmm.
when I started working, it was at a very nascent stage, very
Hmm.
starting stage. Lots of people had idea, but people want to talk about more rather than doing something about it.
Right.
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 So what I realized is, if we really want to do it, if we really want to, bring ethics into AI solution, and when I say ethics, please don't confuse it with human ethics. For
Hmm.
me, it is machine ethics, which is kind of little different from human ethics, but still values human life and human values.
Right.
Okay. Something which I'm very passionate about, something which I kept working for last 3 years, and what I really wanted to do is to bring this idea of AI ethics and trustworthy AI into the practice, where
Okay.
to make it an engineering problem, where
Okay.
people like data scientists and data engineers and data analysts can do something about it.
Hmm.
When they are designing an AI solution, they actually implement those practices or tools or framework, whatever is being developed, to and then they have this fair confidence that's saying that, okay, this AI is developed with ethics in consideration.
Hmm.
That is what really my dream is. That is what I really want to build.
Hmm.
And one aspect, going back to my upbringing on the banks of river Yamuna, that is where I got the spirituality.
Okay.
The spirituality. And then because I was a science fiction nerd, I kind of, when I keep reading all those science fiction, I started looking at, okay, these two things are not different. And
Mm-hmm.
that is how I started believing on spiritual machines.
Okay.
Spiritual machine is something which I believe on, and that the majority of my understanding and my learning in the topic of ethics comes out of connecting the spirituality and the machines and the world of coding and the world of philosophies, and then mixing
Mm-hmm.
them together to bring a new aspect, the new perspective which is out of the box of what generally people see, either in a philosophical area or in a technical area. I wanted to kind of bring them into one segment and bring something unique out of it.